by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, fight. Damn right. Even when I've left.
Welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Show. I am your host, Franco Zavala, and I was just singing a song, and I have zero idea what it's from. What is that from? Is that a video game? Something I hate that. I hate when you have a song stuck in your head and you're humming it and you have zero idea what it's called or where you heard it from. All right, here we go. Let's keep rocking and rolling. This is, okay, we're on episode 167 of the show, trucking along. Today's episode is going to be short and sweet because it's really just, it's one of those episodes where I want to have like a conversation with you stepdads. I want to have a conversation and ask you a question. And then once I ask this question, I want you to answer it in your own way. You can either answer it in the comments, you can answer it to yourself, you can answer it through email, contact@theprofessionalstepdad.com. I would love to hear your answer. So here is the question. Here is something that I want you to contemplate and think about. What is stopping you from going all in? What's stopping you from being the very best man, leader, mentor that you could possibly be for your blended family? What's stopping you from doing self-work? From understanding that personal growth is step one. Writing down, journaling who you want to be, setting goals. What is stopping you from going all in with your relationship with your partner? What's stopping you from learning their love language? Guys, I got into a conversation with a gentleman the other day and I brought this up. I said, hey man, you read the 5 love languages, right? And you would have assumed that what I said was your weakness in this world is kryptonite, correct? Because when I said the word love language, I don't read. Is that one of those like novels is for women? And I asked him, I go, why did you ask that question? And he goes, well, because you said the love language. And I kind of took a step back for a second and I asked him very simply, I go, when it comes to communication with your wife, what's the best way to communicate with her? And he goes, well, I don't know. It depends on the moment. I go, no, that's not their answer at all. Do you know the best way to communicate with your partner? And he didn't really give me an answer. Kind of beat around the bush for a second until finally he just started making some bullshit up. And I stopped him. And I made it very clear to him that he needs to let go of his feeling about the word love. What the fuck's wrong with you, man? I understand. For a lot of us men, either my era or before me, for a lot of us, we were raised different than kids today, right? More of a manly man, you know. You get a cut, just rub some dirt on it, and men don't cry, and all this other crap that we were told or we were shown. So we have this uncomfortable relationship with the word love. So once I explained to him what the love languages were, and I made it very clear that, look, when I say love languages, what I'm trying to say is this book that is out there that helps you identify the best ways to communicate, not only with your partner, but with your kids. That is our job as stepdads. Step 1. No, not step 1. Step 1-4E. We have to learn to communicate. And communicating, you can't communicate if you have zero idea how to talk to one another. And that has nothing to do with words. It has everything to do with their love language. So when I explained that to him, and I just made it very clear, he's kind of think about it like a hack. He was in computer programming. I go, think about it like a hack. If you were writing a code, the best way to write a code is you have to know the proper way to lay out the code. I'm not a code guy, so I'm going to just say a lot of crap right now, but it's like binary or, zeros and ones. And if you make a mistake here and there, it doesn't write properly. And because it doesn't write properly, it won't function and work the way you're expecting it to work. And it's not because your intentions weren't clear. It wasn't that you weren't paying complete focus and attention on writing that code. It's that you were off just by 1 or 2 digits. And that is just like the love languages. If you are off even by a little, and you're not communicating the proper way, you won't hear each other. And if you're not hearing each other, you can't communicate with one another. And if you're not communicating, there's no growth. So hopefully he takes my advice on that and he kind of moves forward. But same goes for you. If you have this relationship with the word love and it makes you feel uncomfortable, get over yourself. Go figure it out, because I'm telling you right now, it's a great hack. It's a great hack because it will wake you up to a few things, not only about you, but about your partner and about the kids. Trust me. So what's stopping you from going all in with the kids? What's stopping you from doing whatever it takes to get to know who they are? I deal with men on a daily basis, or I deal with bio moms who send me messages almost weekly. And their concern is he's not getting along with blank. They are not on the same page. All they do is fight. They're at each other's throat. And the reason for that is it's communication. It's communication. It will always be communication, and it will always be centered around what the love languages are so you can properly know how to communicate. Here's a little piece of advice. Let's say you have a 15-year-old daughter who's going through some changes. You've been in the family for 3 to 4 years, and you had a relationship with her, and everything was great. And all of a sudden, the last few months, maybe the last year, things aren't going the way they were before. And you're not understanding why. She's starting to disrespect you. She doesn't want you to say the word like honey or I love you anymore. She wants to call you, she wants you to call her by name. They're a little thing. Remember, kids go through different phases when they're growing up. But here's what I'm trying to get to. If you find yourself in that position and you find yourself losing that connection with the kids, it's because you haven't done the continuous work to maintain the relationship by listening. And that's by doing the small little things, but it all is going to stem back to the love languages. So for instance, my daughter, whose love language is acts of service, if I feel like I'm losing connection or communication with her, if I feel like our relationship isn't going the way that I want it to be going, I know that acts of service, that's her love language. So instead of speaking, instead of trying to force her to tell me what the hell's wrong, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tiny little things throughout the week just to let her know, hey, I know you. I got you. I hear you. I see you. And by doing that, what I'm doing is I'm putting these little blocks, these little positive building blocks that will eventually get me to a point where she's going to either open up to me or our relationship is just going to continue to grow again. Remember, if you're losing that connection with the kids, it's only because you have stopped doing the necessary work in order to maintain the relationships. That goes for your partner, and that also goes for you. As a man going through life in a blended family specifically, and dealing with all the obstacles and all the things that are coming your way, if you're not doing self-work, if you're not doing personal growth each and every day, not only are you going to be just going in a circle, but you are going to find that problems will be much harder to overcome. Situations will be more complicated to figure out. And it's not because you don't have the ability to do it. It's because you haven't done the consistent daily work. Period. You can't go to the gym, get in shape, feel great about yourself, and then not go to the gym for the next year and a half and just assume that you could take your shirt off or get in your bathing suit and you're going to still look good. That's not how it works. It needs to be maintained. It's no different than a car, maintaining the oil changes and the tire rotations. It's no different than a computer, updates and software. All these little updates and all these little changes, you will, without hesitation, update your phone with new software. And you won't think twice about it. But if I tell you to update your personal growth software, if I tell you to update who you are today to get to who you are tomorrow, because you can't be who you were last year, you'll fight me. You'll buck up against me. Why is that? Why do you do that? Why are you so quick to update your phone, but you won't update yourself? So, What's stopping you from going all in? When I say all in, I mean all in. I mean, I don't care how long you've been in your blended family. Treat each and every day as an experience and a moment and a time to grow and to better yourself so you can prepare for things that will come. What's stopping you? What's holding you back? Why do you still have one foot out the door? Why are you so fucking scared? I don't get that either. What are you so afraid of? You're afraid of a little difficulty? A little bit of pain? A little bit of adversity? Because if you are, I can tell you right now, stepdad, if you're going through that right now and you still have one foot out the door and you're not past year 2, I highly recommend you fucking leave, because you don't get this. You don't get this job. You don't get this experience. You don't get this purpose. It takes a special type of individual to step into a blended family and to erase who they were and to better themselves so that they can properly navigate their journey in a way that will lead them to real success as a step-parent, as a parent, as a friend, as a lover. It takes a special type of person. You know how hard it is to let go of who you were to become who you want to be? Can you do it? So ask yourself that question today, stepdad. What is stopping you from going all in? All right, guys. Thank you guys very much once again. I'm so happy, blessed, grateful. That's episode 167 of the show, and I will talk to each and every one of you very soon. We will. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Listen, if you know a stepdad who is in need of any of this information, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and share this episode with them as fast as possible. Did you do it? Okay, you did it.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.